Hey everyone, and welcome. You know, have you ever noticed how some words just have this special magic to them? They're kind of like paintbrushes. They can take a really simple story and poof, turn it into this amazing, colorful picture right inside your head. Today, we're going to find these magical words together. So, you ready to start our little adventure? Just look at this. On one side, we've got a super simple sentence. A giant met a boy. I mean, it's fine, but it's a little boring, right? Now, look at the other side. We just add a few special words, and it becomes an angry, tall, red-eyed giant met a brave boy. Whoa, see the difference? Suddenly, you can picture the whole thing. You can see that giant, and you can feel how courageous that boy is. Those extra words, they made all the difference.
So, what do we call these magical words? They're called adjectives. An adjective is basically a describing word. Its whole job is to tell us more about a noun, and you know what a noun is, right? A person, a place, or a thing. For example, instead of just rope, we could say a strong rope, or instead of an elephant, a white elephant. Those words, strong and white, are adjectives.
Okay, so the best way to really get how adjectives work is to see them in the real world. So for this explainer, we're going to follow a child through their day. And as we go, we're going to be detectives and spot all the different kinds of amazing adjectives they use. Sound good? Let's go. All right, our story kicks off on a bright and sunny morning. Our character wakes up, has a big stretch, and the very first person they see is their brother. And of course, he's already up and probably causing a little bit of trouble. Now think about it. If you were telling the story, you wouldn't just say my brother. You'd want to describe him a little, wouldn't you? So what kind of brother do you think he is? That little question right there, that's the key to our very first type of adjective. And that question, what kind of, leads us straight to the adjective of quality. These are words that describe, well, the quality or the kind of a noun. They always answer the question, what kind of? Is it a beautiful place, an honest boy, a delicious cake, or maybe a funny movie? All those describing words, beautiful, honest, delicious, funny, they're all adjectives of quality. So, in our story, the child thinks, my cute and naughty brother asked for sweets. See how that works? The words cute and naughty tell us exactly what kind of brother he is. Simple, right? Okay, so our main character has handled his mischievous brother, and now he's feeling a bit thirsty. He heads to the kitchen to grab a drink before he goes out to meet up with his friends. And this is where things get interesting, because we're about to find two new types of adjectives. He's not going to drink the whole bottle, just a little bit. So the question in his head isn't what kind of water, it's how much water. This simple change in the question points us to our next category. And there it is, the adjective of quantity. These words tell us how much of something there is. We usually use them for things we can't easily count, like water or rice or sugar. Words like some, much, little, enough, all, those are all adjectives of quantity. So his mother might say, please have some water. That word some tells us the amount or the quantity of water. It's not a specific number, right? It just gives us a general idea. It answers that question, how much? Okay, he's had his water and now he's ready to head out and meet his friends. But how many friends is he meeting? He's not meeting some friends. He knows exactly how many. So the question has to change again. Now we're asking, how many friends? And this brings us to the adjective of number. When we're talking about things we can count, like friends or books or pencils, we use these adjectives. They answer the question, how many?
For example, those 5 students are the winners. Or, I have many friends. Now, this is pretty cool. Adjectives of number actually have 2 main types. First, you've got cardinals. These are just your normal counting numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. They tell you how many. So you have 1 toy, 2 toys, 3 toys. Then you have ordinals. These tell you the position or the order of something. First, second, third. Like when you're in a race, you finish in first place or second place. See the difference?
All right, let's jump back into our story. Our character is now at the park with his friends. They're having a blast, and then he sees a really cool book that his friend is reading, and he wants to talk about it.
So, how does he show his friend which book he's talking about? He uses a pointing word, and this is where demonstrative adjectives come in. Words like this, that, these, and those are used to point out a specific person or thing. They answer the question, which one? So if the book is right there, close to him, he would say, this book is interesting. The word this points directly to the book he's talking about. But if the book was a little farther away, he might say, that book looks interesting. It's literally like you're pointing with your words. So while they're chatting about the book, his friend points to a house nearby and asks a question. And this brings up a whole new kind of question. It's not about which one anymore, it's about who owns it. The question is, whose house is that over there? And that question, whose, well, it leads us right to possessive adjectives. These words are super useful because they show who owns something. Words like my, your, his, her, its, our, and their, they all show possession. Like if you say, I need your help, or their house is the big one. Well, the day is almost done, and it's time for our friend to head home. But before he leaves, he's got to find his school bag. To do that, he's going to have to ask a question. So, what kind of adjective do you need to ask a question? You need an interrogative adjective. These are special adjectives we use to ask questions about a noun. The big 3 are what, which, and whose. And the really important thing to remember is that they always come right before a noun. So he might ask his friend, whose bag is this? See how whose comes right before the noun bag? It's asking a question about the bag. Or in this example, whose bag is filled with only books? Another one could be if he was choosing between 2 bags, he could ask, which bag is mine? And just like that, our character's day is over. And so is our adventure through the world of adjectives. We've learned that they can add quality by answering what kind, quantity with how much, number with how many, and even show who owns something by answering whose. You basically have an adjective superpower now, one that can make your words come alive. So let's put that new superpower to the test. I want you to think about your absolute favorite food. Maybe it's biryani or pizza or some gulab jamun. How would you describe it? What words would you use to make my mouth water? Go on, share your descriptions in the comments below. Is your favorite food spicy, sweet, crunchy? Maybe it's yummy, cheesy, or even sour. There are so many amazing adjectives you could use. These are just a few to get you thinking. What other ones can you come up with? So, here's the big takeaway, okay? Adjectives are everywhere, and they are so powerful. Use them. Use them in your stories, when you're talking to your friends, in your schoolwork. They are your tools to paint pictures with words. Now go and make your world more colorful.